recording this. Just hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay, let's make sure we're all on the same page. Yes, I'm actually recording this particular topic for my podcast as well. So, yes, welcome to the live. Hi, my name is Elizabeth. I'm Elizabeth the Magical Garden, a magical garden reaching for the stars. Let's wait for a couple of people to come in to the live so I don't have to like start over again. I'm like hot, cold, hot, cold. So I'm wearing this little jean jacket to kind of balance things out. So before I get into the topic, I was listening to a couple of things. Yesterday was really, really hot, and I spent most of the day outdoors, and I actually was reading a couple of different books when the thought, this particular topic entered my mind. So I wanted to share with you guys. Hello. Hey. So the topic is tools you can use to keep level, your frequency level at it. Like basically keeping it up. Keeping it up. Guys, again, I apologize. I'm trying to listen and talk at the same time. This is the first time I'm doing this, so bear with me. We are learning together. Anyway, basically, tools you could use to keep your frequency levels up, whether it's you call it being in high energy, feeling good in your, when you are at your best, in your best self, having great thoughts, the day is going good, just feeling good in your body overall. But as we know, there are things that can interrupt how we are feeling during the course of our day, during the course of our lives, and what we can use. There are things that we can use, tools that we can keep in our arsenals, in my humble opinion, that will allow you to maintain a higher level that you would if you don't involve some of the things that I'm suggesting. And this is from years of experience. I had to learn, it wasn't until I learned, I should say, because you don't have to do anything, but I find it wasn't until I started incorporating certain things into my life that allowed me to really see big changes, like if I'm being totally honest. So anyway, let's get into it. So frequency, what is that? What do I mean? Where am I coming from when I say keeping your frequency levels in a high vibration, keeping them up? Well, I find that in order to manifest, in order to continue receiving in a higher level, seeing things, just even your attitude, keeping what you envision in your mind, and being part of that frequency allows you these things that I'm going to suggest, I should say, will allow you to further stay on that frequency. Because anytime, that's the thing, is anytime you give off that frequency, it's not to say that you're starting all over again, but what you want and what you envision becomes a little, how can I say, a little foggy, because you're not focused. And when you do certain things, I find when you practice certain things, when you find yourself, whether you are happy, whether you're sad, just having things that you go to always remind you and help you get back on that frequency, that high frequency level, sooner than later. So some of the things that I have realized that has always been a go-to and been consistent, guys, if you hear a buzzing, if you hear a buzzing in the background, I have an electric toothbrush that has been talking all day. Here, it just went off. I guess it's old and now the buzzer is stuck. It is what it is. So, yeah, practicing the things that I'm going to suggest definitely will bring you back to the zone. And one of the things that I have always incorporated in my personal practice, whether it's meditation, whether it's prayer, whether it's creativity, cooking, anything that involves my senses, I'm always practicing some type of aromatherapy. This will definitely bring you back. It's an easy way to, well, I should say, for the lack of better words, it's an easy technique to incorporate. It's an easy tool to incorporate into your arsenal because certain senses are proven scientifically to do certain things. So if you find yourself, let's just say that you had a long day at work and you're like in desperate need for feeling relief and feeling calm, feeling good, lavender is a definite go-to. I always incorporate. This was like, I think I got this from Amazon. You can get all these oils from Amazon, but this is one of my favorites. It's about like $15 or whatever the situation is, but this is what I always make sure to have because what I like to do, or I should say, some of the things I like to do. I had just did a little project the other day, and this is one of them. This is one of them. I always am drying out flowers. If you look carefully, there's a purple. Well, I think they spray painted this rose, but anyways, purple is one of the roses that I saved for my birthday that just passed. So I'm always that's my dog too, guys. It is what it is. Listen, this is fun, guys. I have to say thank you to each and every one of you because being able to express myself and share on this level and also help others is just it's magical. It's magic of its own. Anyway, thank you. So this is a couple of dry roses from previous times. Now, whoever is listening on to in the podcast, be sure to check out my live because you'll be able to see the visuals, some of the things of what I'm suggesting. So be sure to check out. The links will be down below. So yeah, this right here, what I do, I always keep dry flowers. I love the aesthetic. I love how they look as well. So what I do is I just take some lavender oil and I douse it. Um, Try to like maybe make sure you do it on a surface that you don't want it, or have something underneath to absorb so that the oil won't just be splattering all over the place or whatever the situation. And if you're going to put this in your closets, you don't want the oils hitting your clothes or anything like that. And what I do, I douse it with lavender, and I might just have it on something like really pretty. I'll I had these actually. This one was in a closet, so this is a nice little sash to have in your closet. So when you come to your closet, you see something like really pretty. It's from nature. It's all like organic, and it just smells so good. So when you're coming to when you approach your closet, when you're getting your clothes to get to work or take the kids to school or whatever event or situation you find yourself going to, it's just a nice little thing to incorporate into your life, just reminding you how special you are. These are the things that makes me feel good, and the smell is just divine in my humble opinion. So that's definitely one. Let me put this back. So aromatherapy, and you know, the Egyptians been using aromas. They are known for their oils. They've been using these techniques for like centuries, you know, and who knows how long even before. These things are into your senses, because as energetically we are all in harmony attention, I should say, pay attention to the things that you consume, pay attention to the things that you smell, pay attention to the things that you see. Just pay attention to everything, even down to the touch. And this is why art is so important, because when you are handling any particular medium, you are also imbuing your vibrations into it. So I like to also, and this is something else you can do as well, draw, write, create something with your hands. Create something with your hands, because when you feel something tactically, you receive you receive you receive messages. This is why people like to touch the trees. I actually did that the other day. There's this tree in my neighborhood, and I'm so blessed to have access to it. But I don't know what it is. I feel like, personally, I feel like the shape looks like a woman. Like she has hips, breasts. It's just an embodiment of Mother Nature. You know what I mean? So anyway, I put my hands on the tree, and I just really allow my palms to really just like feel and touch. Just allow, because listen, I'm sure that tree has been there way longer than I was even thought of. And trees, everything holds memory. This is why when you take the time to purge or clean out and you give things away, you know how your place tends to feel a little lighter. So anyway, that's something that you can do. You could definitely incorporate art, creating things with your hands to remind you who you are, remind you what really matters in your life. And listen, this is not about being perfect or anything like that. Just let yourself have fun. This is why little kids are so creative, because they are not reading into what it looks like. They just know that they created something. This is why you have a little kid run up to his mother or father and be like, look what I made, and just be so proud. And this is why how we react, what we usually, even if we know, you know what I mean, or it's just the fact that I don't care if it's a line. I remember when my son was a little kid, I was just happy that he was able to just create something. You know what I mean? This is who I created, and he's creating. So it just felt so good for me, and I feel like most parents feel like that, right? Or if any parent, most or all, parents feel like that, because you want your kids to flourish. Anyway, another thing that I realized personally for myself that I always have to keep in my arsenal, especially as a woman of a certain age. I believe that it's really important to keep yourself looking good for you. Yes, you want to present yourself to the world a certain way, and I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying that you gotta pile things on or whatever the situation is. Whatever entices, triggers your fancy, and that is your ideal of beauty, and it makes you feel good, do it. And for me, sitting in front, something I used to love when I used to work a physical job, I used to love, my favorite time of the day, and still is when I sit in front of my vanity. I didn't even realize that. Like, when I stopped doing certain things. I got off a certain routine. I was on another routine, but I wasn't incorporating the very thing that was really feeding me, which is sitting in front of my vanity, zhuzhing a little bit on my face, and just oiling, taking time to oil my hands, taking time to just think and process what's going on around me, process the things that is asking of my energy, and just pouring into myself. This has always, especially if like maybe the day before wasn't like the best, has always brought me back to a particular level. I don't care about what's going on in my life. I always felt good when I did that. So doing things like feeding yourself, pouring back into yourself, just taking time to analyze and realize the space of perspective, what is in front of you. And what I will say to that is once you get into the groove of practicing some of the things or all the things that I'm suggesting, you get to realize through repetition, how a lot of things doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, okay, it's getting hot now. At the end of the day, gotta take off this little jacket, okay, and drink some water. At the end of the day, guys, it's it. You matter. You are the focal point. You are um, the main character of the movie, and the movie is what you choose to create. So, in order to be able to drink a little water, because I got hype. Mm, that was so good. In order to maintain a positive perspective coming from the keeping in form of being in alignment with whatever you are whatever you are achieving, because if you can see it, it's already done. You are just bridging the gap. You're bridging the gap. That's all you're doing. And the only way that you will be able to continue doing that is by keeping your energy, your frequency levels up. That's the only way that you're going to be able to get there sooner than later. And that's going to require you to have certain things that you practice. Yeah. That you practice that will actually be the things that will be your go-tos. You know, like how sometimes, and I will add this, you know, not sometimes, a lot of times we obtain unhealthy crutches because we don't have anything on reserve. And this is why a lot of people find themselves in toxic relationships, whether it be with a with somebody or a job or substance or anything, just a toxic relationship, because you haven't gotten to the place where you stuck with any one thing long enough to see its significance. Because if you're a type of person, sometimes I eat healthy, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I drink water, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I, you know, put on makeup, sometimes I don't. Like if you're sometimey, I find that you're going to be sometimey in everything. And this is a fact. Not because I know, because that's me too. But what saved me from myself in that retrospect, because I believe that if there's something that is not keeping you on your higher vibration, whether, like I said, whether it's a relationship, even if it's most importantly the relationship with yourself, that has to change. Because then you're going against the grain. You're going against what you want, and then you get frustrated because you are not where you don't see your life. Your life is not where you want it to be, guys. Okay, so practicing and having these things in your arsenal allows you to always. Now here's where things get like fun. It allows you to always be on a higher frequency. What do I mean about that? Okay, so every single thing is connected. Everything has a volume of energy. energy, my aura is on the cup. Anything that you handle. So, with that being said, if you're always practicing mindfulness, uh, creating when even when things are not its best, you take time to pour into yourself. You take time to show yourself love. You take time to take care of your skin, take care of your face. You take care of yourself. That is your go-to. Where somebody else will stop doing these things because life is hitting hard. If anything, you get better. You get better, right? Because now you are focused. You're focused in that. You're focused doing the task, right? And then you're focused on the positive because it makes you feel good because you're oiling your body. You're taking time to give yourself facials or get a facial or just anything that's going to make you feel good, even if it's just down to a pedicure or changing your polish. It makes you feel good. It takes the mind to focus in order to achieve these things. That's why I mentioned art, because you are working with your hands, and because you're writing, you're focused on the task, you are alleviating the focus on something else, right? That's why they say, it's hard to focus equally on any couple of things. I remember, for me, I feel like mothers in general can focus on many tasks at one time because you got kids, you're doing this, that. But with that being said, truly, any one thing that is focused on for a various amounts of time will transmute. It will become something. So if you, even when things are going crazy or you're not feeling your best or you're feeling down and you have certain things that you go to that enables you to stay on that frequency, you're always going to win because that frequency is being, you're paying attention on that level every time. Whether you feel good, whether you're happy, sad, or whatever. Yeah, maybe sometimes you might go a little harder when you are feeling when you're already vibrating on a higher state, of course. But even when you are quote unquote in a lower state, the fact that you are twinkling, you're touching it. That births consistency, and what they say, consistency builds currency. Boom. That's it. So once I learned transmuting parts, a big component of transmuting energy allows you, when you get in that frequency of changing and going to specific things, you are always winning. You're winning because you're doing the very thing and also you are building your tenacity to see things from a better perspective, a better point of view that is going to be profitable for you. Basically, because at this point, life is all about you. This life that you chose to be in, because we chose. They say, I believe that we chose to be in these bodies. So once you chose to be in this body, you also chose this life. And it might sound crazy that I'm saying that, but it is true because all of us have the ability to create a wonderful, prosperous life. That's the whole thing. All of us have that. All of us have that. It's just our perspectives need to change. And once you get into keeping your vibrations up, doing things that's going to always allow you to get back on track, you build a muscle there. So I am actually going to head out because I'm actually batching a couple of podcasts juicy and interesting for me. So I wanted to share as well. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll be notified every time you upload. I always say you. Every time I upload a video, as well as be sure to check out all the links down below. Check out the podcast. It goes live every single Thursday. And for those who are listening,